Mrs. Gomes, how you would evaluate the Council conclusions on Turkey?
The more I read them, the more I am shocked and alarmed, because they really undermine not just our honor, our credibility, but actually endanger our security, because it actually shows that the Council does not understand at all the game he's entering in. He's succumbing to blackmail by the regime of President Erdogan at the moment when he is completely violating human rights, completely violating the undertakings, the commitments under the Copenhagen criteria, by repressing Turkish citizens, Turkish media, by repressing in particular the Kurdish of Turkey, and also the Kurds in Syria, by interfering in the war in Syria. And it's actually outrageous how the Council believes that it can outsource the problem of refugees into a country like Turkey, at a moment when Turkey plays double games, including in manipulating the tap of smuggling, of the smugglers of people. And that the Council contemplates a policy that is indeed a Turkish bazaar, one Syrian in the EU for one Syrian readmitted in the EU. This is really a shame. It's a shame. I have no words to describe how outraged I feel with this, and I really hope that the clear position of the majority of the Parliament will make EU leaders think and not go in this line, which will be absolutely amount to violation of our international obligations. At the moment when others, yesterday we had the UN High Commission for Refugees saying how this was an existential crisis for the EU of principles, of values, of objectives we are here for, not for this shame, absolute dishonor.
Do you think that in principle it's possible to outsource such a thing as border protection to a third country? So the major idea of many MEPs is that is the outsourcing a solution?
No, we should invest in our external border protection, but we should not bar people who ask for protection and who need protection, like the refugees from Syria, from Afghanistan, even from Turkey, those Kurds who are now coming because of the repression that is ongoing in southern Turkey. And we need to live up to our principles and obligations and commitments in terms of the refugee policy. And I don't understand how the Council is so good, and the Commission, at disciplining member states because they don't fulfill decimals in the deficit, and they don't lift a finger against the member states like Austria and others who ganged up to bomb the Schengen system, when it should. We need more than ever the Schengen system, and we need to indeed invest in the implementation of the Schengen system. I come from a country, Portugal, where when we didn't have the Schengen system, when we had national borders, over 1 million of Portuguese had no difficulty in crossing illegal all these national borders to actually go and find a better life in countries such as France and Germany and Britain. National borders don't serve Europe in any way. We need a common border, duly protected, that's in which we should invest definitely to man that border. I'm in favor of a EU Coast Guard, as it's been talked, strengthen all the other mechanisms we have, but at the same time make sure that we live up to our commitments towards refugees, and refugees are coming because we have not acted as we should to prevent conflicts, namely to prevent the conflict in Syria to developing as it is developing, and also we are still neglecting what is happening in Libya that sooner or later is going to come to haunt us. We need to combine both elements, stronger border protection at our common foreign borders, but as well stronger commitment to live up to our obligations. And in this respect, we need the relocation scheme to work. We need to give, to man the different Frontex and EASO and national authorities who are in charge of making this relocation scheme to work. And for that, we need European solidarity. And that's why I don't understand why the Commission and the Council have not lifted a finger against those member states who have been bluntly putting in question European solidarity, bluntly violating the Schengen system, and bluntly violating their obligations, legal, moral obligations in terms of international law towards refugees.